Hello, everybody. I'm Overhaul, and today we'll be reviewing Fire Force Chapter 253. The usual disclaimer at the beginning of my videos. I'm not a kid specific channel, although the topics I discuss might look like they're for kids. It's very likely that I'll start discussing about something that's too mature, describing something that's too mature, or just in general use words that are too mature. So if you're a child, I would strongly advise you not to watch this video. As for everybody else, let's get into the review. So the chapter starts out with basically everything just going to shit, like everything just burning up. I mean, there are infernos who might be dead, or there, you just cannot see them. Needless to say, there is a lot of fucking fire everywhere. Now, we see the characters reacting to it. To it with the Tamaki being like, are all the infernos put to rest? And characters not really sure what's going on, what to do. And then we see Lisa and Vulcan, the two, I guess, people who have failed or completely screwed up in keeping the cataclysm from happening, coming out of the Amaterasu. And they are instantly now I noticed, well, people probably noticed when they were reading it, is that Vulcan state, where is you? So the which no, I might have missed something. I mean, it's very likely, but the last time we've seen you was him laughing thing as Giovanni possessed him when the cataclysm started in the last chapter. So apparently after that he kind of just vanished, or at least like got around the two and run away somewhere. Like, it's not very clear. It just seems to imply that you kind of just vanished without a trace. So Liv tells him that he's not sure where you is, and yeah. And Uga is like, white clad scheme. Have we prevented it or altered it? Like, he's clearly not aware of what's going on. He's barely conscious. I mean, he's on the floor, still beaten, and apparently not even seeing the flames. So, yeah. He is completely unknown. I'm guessing people are gonna fill him in, or they better hurry considering the fire everywhere. Now, something that I found very weird that we didn't actually get when Lisa and you came up to Amaterasu is that Lisa and Arrow didn't have an interaction with each other. So now we get them in this chapter. Thank God we get to see more of Arrow because let's be fair, Arrow is best girl. I know some Monkey best girl fans would say Monkey is best girl, but okay, let's be real here. The debate is most likely between Arrow or Monkey. Okay, regardless. But yeah. Lisa asks basically just to doesn't really like ask fully, just has Arrow. And Arrow states that yeah, the scheme we were planning, this is that. So my theory on Arrow still like having nothing against the cataclysm happening, just that she wanted it to happen is starting to be more and more likely. So now we cut to some what other companies are doing, which is makes sense since it's been a while since we've seen all of these characters. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure I was reviewing the chapters already with Fire Force when the last time we've seen that, but I just can't remember how long was it. I would say about 10 or so chapters ago. Seems logical to say. So yeah, we see the captain of Company 4 and I guess the third most recurring captain, Company 4. I believe one of the guy next, I think the captain of the 4 is something Hugh Yan. I think he has a very Japanese like name. And his the partner is, I believe, something Karim, which is fine because I'm pretty sure the other character we see in this is also Karim. But yeah. So we see the two reacting to it, and we honestly something that I think people should use more of is water that's on fire because the panel shot with the two talking is this the cataclysm? Some basically has the two looking at what looks like a river of fire. Can't tell how many times that was a joke someone made, like, and we bet don't see it, but finally we get to see it, which is honestly tragic that that's happening, and probably who knows how many people just died. But it is fun to see it. Now we cut to Company One doing stuff, and we see that I believe what's his name, the new captain, Captain Hyo, I believe. I'm not really sure on some of these side captains' names. We see him basic saying, "We need to get people to safety. Please don't panic." And we see that new captain who kind of resembles that white clad specialist Cataclysm Force character, which funny how we aren't seeing them still. Maybe there's gonna be a role later. I'm not exactly sure. Saying where do we put people because everyone's panicking. Also, I forgot to mention this, but there's like one picture of a woman praying because that's apparently what it was like written in a scripture or somewhere that or the prologue or something that apparently the cataclysm will happen again if there's a giant eyeball in the sky. You know, I am kind of wondering something. Now, the reason why Haumea had her whole how everything led to death was just the evil of humanity or something like that, like the fictional and like beliefs. But all that comes from Evangelist. So isn't by simple logic of how that works the fact that Evangelist is responsible why everyone's perception of life leads to death because of it? So wouldn't that mean every like people like Chawan and Haumea who scream and complain about how horrible you guys are pure evil. We just have to kill our make genocide massacre or something. So wouldn't that technically mean that it's basically their fault, Evangelist's fault, why Haumea is feeling the pain? In fact, now I think about it, the people that would probably be the closest to her thought process are the white-clad soldiers, and those guys have pretty much death on their mind. So again, wouldn't that mean that most likely a dam? I mean, just saying, outside of Charon and Arrow and I guess Shu, I can't remember that many white-clad soldiers that would have like love or empathy or anything of those sorts. Got myself a big prophecy, but maybe I'm just slow behind the process. Seriously. Seriously, I'm kind of questioning how intelligent Haumea and Charon are. But yeah. So the company one is basically trying to like figure out where to put them, like where would it be safe. In fact, that Karim Flam, I believe his name is, actually shows up, actually states where is it safe, and he kind of looks into the like tornadoes or Tatsumakis, and he's like, Reka, is this the world you wished for? The one only wanted to create? Which, you know, I'm gonna be honest, has anyone else noticed how Raka is like a more reoccurring villain for someone who's so early on? I mean, like, let's really think about this. In most story arcs, when you have like an early villain who's just there to be the traitor in a group and then betray a friend, they are usually, like, it's not really all that long term. It's usually just like until he's defeated. But Raka has been defeated for like, honestly, I want to say over no, wait. Would it be over 200 chapters at this point? I mean, I'm probably misremembering my chapter numbers. In fact, I'm not even sure what chapters were there, but I'm pretty sure we are way over 200 chapters at this. Way over 100 chapters at this point, maybe even over 200 chapters. I mean, I believe it was one of the earlier storylines in the anime, so earlier episodes, so I wouldn't be surprised if we are already 200 chapters over it, or just 200. So you gotta find how reoccurring Raka is. Like, the guy literally has been dead for like hundreds of chapters and that he's still like being mentioned, talked about, and referenced. So yeah, basically everything's going to shit. Is what this is supposed to really show. Like everyone's panicking, and everyone who's not panicking is like, "Oh, we're doomed with that." We kind of just accepting that while everything's on fire. Now we cut to the pillars. Yep, that's right. Everyone who's been wondering where the pillars are, what are they doing, we finally get an update on them. And the update we got on them is rather vague on what's actually happening. Because the thing is, we see Haumea in a very I want to say like a very kind of oozy slime like form. But the thing is, her hand looks normal. Her that mask, whatever you would call it, on her head looks normal. In fact, if you look at her from the side, you can actually see the human physique. It's just that when you look at her like down the middle, like just straight on, it's that looks like she's just like a slimy kind of form. I mean, granted, her arms and her legs are slimy the entire time, but the rest of her just doesn't look. It's like very weird. So basically, we get like what every pillar is supposed to represent. Like Amaterasu represents madness. Haumea represents passivity, I believe. Shu represents apathy. Shin represents rage, and we get like a really demonic face from Shinron, which I guess it's because I don't know. Is it because people are angry at him, or is that because he's just pissed off? Like a guy literally just saves their lives from Raffles the First, who basically tried to kill them, and they are blaming him and calling him the devil for saving their lives. And so yeah, then we have Inca, who is destruction, makes sense. Natako, who is fear, which is I'm guessing supposed to represent more Natako's point of view, since he's basically living fear to make live up to everyone's expectations, which are insane, as you might have imagined. Then we have Sumea, who is disgust. I'm not sure how Sumea is disgust of all things. Maybe it's because she's disgusting, like on every like level. Appearance disgusting. What she has done disgusting. So probably she's probably like that because of that. Because I really cannot imagine, like the manners was always associated with Amaterasu. Apathy was what I would imagine someone like should being. I'm not exactly sure on passivity completely, but maybe it is supposed to be. But from what I read, it does seem to kind of fit Haumea. Honestly, I would have thought Haumea would have been insanity. And Iris is despair. Since I guess. Wait, why is Iris despair again? I guess. Oh, yeah, the final two are probably like the ones I would say are the weirdest two. Because I can't really think of. Like, maybe you could say that her faith was so wrong. And you could say that's because, but I don't see why she would despair. I mean, she still has friends, and her power, even if misled, can still help people. So I'm not exactly following the despair aspect. So yeah, now scene, during this scene, Haumea is like having a dialogue, which again makes me question: are all the pillars like moving around, or are they like just? Is just Haumea the only one who's moving? I'm not exactly sure because we see like what looks like a pillar with the number of the pillar like 4, 5, 6, 7. So again, I'm not sure. And Haumea is basically like saying all of humanity's deeds, everything always leads to destruction, despair, and hopelessness. It doesn't matter because all their beliefs end up that way. The only thing that humanity uses is basically optimism. So basically, there's no hope. So yeah, it's like one of those very weird dialogues. So you have a very hard time remembering unless if you literally have it in front of you. In fact, I should probably have written it down and read it to you. I'm probably gonna have to do it again because I believe it's like the first or second time this has happened in the last couple of volumes where I have to have this kind of dialogue. So yeah, it's a very abstract idea, like pretty much like confirming to us what the whole purpose of it is, and how there is no hope. Now, something to mention is that we also see Homer crying, which is maybe because there's no hope for Chan to live since he blown himself up. I'm not exactly sure. So basically, it's time to end this. And maybe they're supposed to judge everyone. It's like very abstract because the way Homer speaks in it sounds like it's their decision. Like it's the pillars who have to judge humanity. And all the worst aspects of us, I'm pretty sure, gosh, all the worst aspects, I'm not exactly sure if how apathy is the thing that would, what is, okay, basically the worst aspects of humanity are all supposed to judge humanity. That's what seems to be implied is happening. So yeah, base and the way I'll discuss the judgment at the end. Let's just go through over this. Now after we have this weird confusion, I guess somewhere between Adola and Human Earth or something, we get to see Company 4 soldiers, and then like one is like panicking. What can we do? It's useless. Like everything's on fire. If we find a location that's safe, a building, it's like it's gonna get burst in flames and they'll die. Like it's nothing. Like one is completely panicking with another soldier trying to calm him down, but then a doppelganger shows up and kills them. And honestly, among doppelganger, this one's a little more accurate because the soldier that's trying to calm him down is like, oh, oh no, it looks just like him. Which again, I mean, the doppelgangers are a little loose and goose when it comes to their being, a doppelganger. So yeah. Then Captain of the Fourth also shows up and he's basically it doesn't what happened, and we basically end with this saying, "Is there any hope left?" And the chapter start for the next chapter is the I believe something related to like the remain. Is there any remaining of hope or something on those lines? So yeah. Now let's talk about the whole pillars judging things. Now, again, it's not confirmed, but it does seem to be implied strongly in this chapter that the pillars are the ones who have to decide it. And the pillars are pretty much like the worst aspects to decide, like the worst. They represent the things that are probably like the last thing you want to be judged by. Because again, rage, destruction, empathy. Like I'm pretty sure that at least 3 or 4 of these aspects would judge destruction without any like real reasoning. I'm pretty sure that the madness would just say, "Oh, let's destroy everything. So let's kill them." Rage would be like, who? Don't ask me. Just kill, kill, kill." Um, Inca being the destruction would just be like, "Let's destroy. I'm destruction, so let's just destroy." And the spirit would be, "It doesn't matter. Let's just destroy." So it's a bit like So it is a bit funny how basically the destruction of humanity is literally on aspects of humanity that literally would say automatically. Now, granted, I'm sure this is not gonna happen after all. I mean, you can end the scene in a more tragic way, but you're not gonna end the series with everyone dying. Like, you're not gonna end it with Shinra dying, with Shu dying, with every character dying. I'm sure there'll be something. Like maybe that cameraman will get the footage out, and people are gonna have more of a context to what's going on, since it is possible that the voice or something didn't come or something, because people were reacting to it on TV. So I'm not exactly sure on how they did not hear how violent and destructive it was. But again, I guess you could say it's even more destructive. I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen. Like, I'm guessing there is gonna be something because again, the Alpha for Dragon rematch, but I'm not exactly sure. So if I had to assume, I would say Shinra would break from his, like, maybe Arthur has like this thought, like, Shinra, you're just gonna abandon us all to die or something. Like, do a speech that's like very, like, like pissed off, but at Shinra, and that would like awaken him from the slumber, and then maybe he'll try to argue the point, and then he'll stop being rage and start arguing for it, try to like convince. I'm guessing Shun Iris would be the easiest to get, since I since Shinra was pretty sure is pretty guaranteeing it for Shinra, and Iris is, I feel like he could give hope to Iris. I mean, everyone else, I'm not exactly sure. I can't really see Sumeria going back. Haumea, debatably, but I would say no. Inca, again, I'm not exactly sure. Her aspect is very literal with her. I mean, Ataku and Amethyst, like the only two who I would say are very up in debate where they would go. But yeah. So this is pretty much the chapter. It's just showing us the cataclysm and what's happening. It's nothing really all that special. But yeah. Things are not looking good, and I'm definitely wondering how it's gonna be solved. So let's wait until the next chapter. I mean, it's only, what is it, only 2 days before the next Raws come out? So yeah, who is to say? So with that said, I hope you like this video. I hope you leave a like and subscribe to this channel for more videos in the future. And with that said, I cannot wait to see all of you people next time. Bye.